Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's your boy, Delightful Kiss Boy here, and today I am recording a video that's very different from what I've been previously doing, but I was inspired to make this because I was scrolling through Facebook like a boomer, and I was seeing so much insane AI artwork, particularly Christian AI artwork, and I kind of went down a rabbit hole, and I felt like I was losing my mind, and I felt like I needed to bring you guys along for the ride, to ask the question, what the hell is up with this Christian AI artwork, alright? I'm going to take you through a journey, let me tell you. It is currently 1:14 a.m., and I'm tired as hell. I'm delirious. I've been compiling all of these images just for you. And let's go through them. Let's go through them because they are insane. If this isn't any indication right here that things are going to get fucking wacky. All right, well, disclaimer to start off with, because I don't want to offend people, and that is easier said than done when I'm taking a video about two controversial topics, which is AI artwork and religion, and mashing them together into one single, very controversial video. So, disclaimer: I just want to put this out there. I am not religious personally. I'm personally just not religious, not my thing, But I have, plenty of respect for people who are religious. In general, I got nothing against it. That's awesome if you whatever your beliefs are. I mean, no disrespect, particularly to Christians in this one. It's all good. What I am mainly focusing on is how fucking wild this artwork is, alright? So I think even if you're Christian and you're religious, you will agree with me that this shit is wacky. Like, I don't know what the fuck is going on with it, and I need to put this out there so that you guys can help me understand what the fuck any of this shit means, alright? So, that's what I'm asking. What the fuck is up with this shit? I am not trying to dunk on religion at all. That is not my intention. My intention is just to ask the question, what the fuck is up with this shit, alright? So, let's get started to show you what I mean. I'm going to start off with a very simple example, which is Sandcastle Jesus. All right, these are the initial set of photos that caught my attention as I was scrolling through Facebook, as I said, like a boomer, and it was pretty innocuous. All right, I looked at it and I was like, okay, that's obviously AI artwork. So things like this, all right, where there's a strange man standing or kneeling down on a beach, creating a face of Jesus in the sand, which is pretty obviously fake, right? Like, you couldn't make something that looks like that in real life. Or maybe even if you could, it would take way fucking longer, but then there wouldn't be 50 million of basically the exact same image, right? So this is what I initially saw. There's plenty of images like this. Like, one of the ones I saw trending was people had all this AI artwork of people carving watermelons, right? Carving watermelons in these like elaborate ways. So I saw these, I was like, okay, this makes sense to me. It's whatever. But Facebook kept recommending these to me. More and more of these images of Sandcastle Jesus. And it was getting increasingly more elaborate. Like this one, for example, which is pretty insane. Like if you could imagine somebody creating that and then timing their shot so that the tide is rolling in, like this is like virtually impossible, right? Like having those fucking like spikes stick out of this head, I was like, it's whatever. Like I said, fairly innocuous. It's just somebody trying to like made it with my own hands, people trying to use AI artwork to bamboozle people. I was like, whatever, dude. Could not be bothered, They got a few thousand likes, but whatever. This one's even crazier. It's this giant Jesus on this little peninsula thing. I'm like, alright, whatever. But this was just the start of my journey, okay? As I delved further and further into the Christian AI artwork, or whatever rabbit hole. And one of the things about sites like Facebook is you kind of end up in this like cycle. This cycle, right? Because at least I do, because I'm a masochist, all right? So I log into Facebook, I see something fucking wacky, right? Something that like either makes me angry or I'm confused about, or I'm like, what the fuck is that shit? I click on it, and then the algorithm goes, oh man, Delightful Kiss Boy really loves this shit. He just keeps clicking on it, right? So I end up creating, it's a hell of my own making, right? Where I click on shit that either pisses me off or confuses me, and then and then the website will show me more and more and more of that, right? So that's what happened to me with this. As I was clicking on these, I was like, do people really believe this shit? And I started to get recommended more and more deranged shit, all right? So this is just one step up, which is beach painting Jesus, all right? So we had Sandcastle Jesus, and now this is explicitly people painting on the beach, all right? So here you can see there is a man who has a set of paints here, who is apparently painting on the sand and painting an image of Jesus into the sand. Now, I'm not an expert. I am not a sand expert, nor am I an art expert. But methinks that would be un poco de difficult. Like, what the fuck? Like, like you're using watercolors and you're painting. Also, why does it need all these colors? It's just fucking brown, dude. Like, what the hell? Anyway, still relatively innocuous. It's just an impossible thing. Whatever. We move on. Now, this one, I was like, okay, that's interesting. It looks like a man painting a watercolor on a beach, but the watercolor is the background. And I was like, all right. I mean, so he's not painting on the sand, but it's like he's painting an image of Jesus who's then poking at him. I don't know. I thought that was a little bit strange, so I included it here. Okay, actually, now I'm kind of on board with it. Hoochie mama, right? You know, but she is also painting what appears to be an image of Jesus directly into the sand. Now, maybe a canvas. I'm not entirely sure. She's got her fucking sandals sitting on her artwork, her beautiful artwork that she's spent all this time doing. Also, she has 3 hands. I just noticed that. So, unless there's a small man kind of crouched behind her, she has 3 arms and is using her 3rd arm to paint Jesus there. So that's pretty cool. Made it with my own hands. Well, you got 3 of them. So yeah, that's another thing you'll notice with this AI artwork is you see a lot of the same captions. It's like Alexandra Daddario, Angelina Jolie, like all these hashtags to try to get it like recommended to you. Now this one, made it with my own hands. This looks like a giant lady, right? Like, am I tripping, or is that lady gigantic? Like, look at how small the ocean looks compared to her in terms of like I don't know if it's the perspective or if I'm tripping, but like she just looks like a giant right now. Okay, I don't know. Anyway, she is painting an image of Jesus into the sand. What I love here is that she's like, oh man, I need to take this pose. So I'm just gonna draw his like right arm just a little bit lower so that, you know, it lines up with the shot. Like he doesn't have his arms out straight. He's not T-posing, you know. he's like moving one of his arms down for the convenience of her. She's like, I couldn't be bothered to move and get his arm looking right. So once again, painting directly into the sand. This one was cracking me up. So there is a woman who is she's not really painting. She has a paint brush and paints, but she's just kind of like you know, drawing in the sand. And there is a giant Jesus emerging from the ocean and kind of like raising his arms up like, what the fuck are you doing? You know, at least that was my interpretation of it. And it was further cemented by the follow-up, which is him showing her how to do it better, right? Which is funny because he's using a paintbrush and he's using the correct side of it, but he's still just drawing in the dirt. So that's my interpretation of it. It looks like a different woman, but maybe it's the same one. He's kind of being like, what the fuck? You're shit at this, girl. You're shit at this. Let me show you how it's done. Let Papa Jesus show you how it's done. At least that was my interpretation of it. All right. Now this is where as I continued to go down the rabbit hole, this is where I started to become incredibly confused. All right? And it just keeps going off the rails from here. But this is like the starting point, because I feel like I'm losing my mind because I do not understand what the fuck this is about. There are so many AI-generated images of flight attendants praying to Jesus. And I don't know why. It's like there's tons of airplanes or tons of flight attendants. Let's just look at it, all right? So this is to start off with. This is a pretty basic example. You can see here, the caption that's used over and over and over again is beautiful cabin crew. I don't know, it'll say something about best year or whatever. But then it's just like, it's like flight attendants praying to Jesus. So you can see right here, this bitch is praying to a statue of Jesus on an airplane. So you see one of them, and you're like, okay, I guess that's cool. Look, 16,000 likes for this, right? It's like, all right, I guess flight attendants can love Jesus too. You know, that's totally cool. But then there's like another one. Like she's not praying to Jesus. She has conjured the spirit of Jesus in the background, which is pretty impressive, to be honest. Pretty cool. And then here we've got a woman who's conjured Jesus outside of the plane, appearing to be over New York here. But once again, another beautiful cabin crew, a flight attendant praying Jesus into existence, which is, I mean, pretty sick, not gonna lie. And then here we've got a flight attendant who is praying another Jesus into existence. This one kind of looks like, she looks kind of like, that's not a sincere smile. She looks kind of like scared, honestly. I think that what she's doing, what's happened is this Jesus has appeared, and he's got a floating head outside of the airplane, and she's scared shitless and is pretending to be a good Christian right now to avoid instant condemnation. That is at least my interpretation of this. But once again, the beautiful cabin crew, May 2024 is your best year. May is actually a month, if you didn't know that. It is actually not a year, contrary to popular belief. Fun face 188. But yeah, let's move on. Here we've got beautiful cabin crew. This one, Scarlett Johansson. That doesn't look like Scarlett Johansson to me, personally. I could be wrong. You know, I'm known to be wrong. This appears to be a flight attendant standing in front of a waterfall holding a very chipper picture of Jesus who has a reverse chin strap or something. Like, is that what that is? It's like a fucking V carved into his beard. I haven't seen that before. What's kind of funny here is it's like she's holding it up, but then her hand is kind of like colliding with his hand. I don't know what that's all about. But he's kind of just pointing. He's like pointing at me. He's like, you. Yeah, I'm happy about you. But she is a flight attendant who is very happy about this picture of Jesus, I guess. Here we've got another flight attendant and a busted ass Jesus in the background. That face is fucked. And there is a beautiful rainbow, which is also busted because it looks like it doesn't connect properly. It kind of looks like it goes wee, and then it kind of just dives down there. I don't know, but this flight attendant is nowhere near a plane. But once again, a beautiful cabin crew, Scarlett Johansson. I don't know what the fuck the boom challenge is, but that shows up a lot. Yeah, 11,000 likes for a flight attendant sitting in a river praying with, sloth mode Jesus in the background. I mean, that's great. I mean, I can imagine why 11,000 people would look at this hashtag Jennifer Lopez and be like, yeah, I'm going to like that. I'm going to heart react that. Here we have Himbo Jesus standing proudly in front of a plane, which is taking off with everybody on the tarmac here, and a crew of flight attendants, once again. This one's pretty sick, I'm not going to lie. I would like this one. I didn't put how many people liked this one, but I would imagine it has to be a few million. Here we've got Jesus walking down the main aisle with all the flight attendants sitting around with candles on tables, which seems a little unsafe if you're on an airplane, I would assume. I mean, I'm not a flight attendant, but they are very eagerly awaiting Jesus to apparently walk down the aisle for some reason. But yes, beautiful cabin crew. Scarlett Johansson, I agree. Here we have a woman praying Jesus into existence. There is, I can't tell if that's supposed to be like a decal that's like the earth, or if that is like the top of the plane is cut off and like you're looking at earth. And I'm also a little confused about the orientation of the seats here, because it appears that the orientation of the seats is this way, but is that the back of a guy's head over there? Like, that looks like the back of people's heads. I don't know. I couldn't really tell you. But she is conjuring Jesus into existence here. I kind of have a theory about this. I think, you know, this woman who was like, there's a reason I'm getting the fuck off. It's because that motherfucker back there is not real. I'm pretty sure she was on this plane right now. She was walking back, and then she saw her conjuring Jesus into existence and flipped the fuck out and got off the plane, as I would too. If I saw the visage of Jesus walking towards me on a plane, I think I would leave as well. Here we have, I think this is kind of a story in 3 parts, alright? So this is a flight attendant, beautiful cabin crew. May 2024 is your best year, obviously. She wakes up in the morning, and she's praying to Jesus. You know, she's thinking about Jesus. She has her model airplane, as most flight attendants have. You know, I think this is her waking up in the morning. And then she gets to work. She's about to board the plane. She has her Jesus statue at work. She is getting in the zone. She's getting centered. And then she gets on the plane. She's getting progressively hornier. As you can see, she's removing clothing over time. She has another statue on the plane now. And she is just getting very turned on by Jesus, which is... that's awesome. That's awesome to be that devoted. Hell yeah, brother. Aviation lovers. Yes. Lady air hostess. Sign me up, baby. All right. Yep. This one. Like, what the fuck is this? All right. This is like 2 flight attendants doing homework on a plane, and then Jesus is kind of like helping them. Like, is he like a teacher? Like what are they doing? Like, there's like a desk in the middle of the fucking cabin aisle. Beautiful cabin crew. Scarlett Johansson. Yes, yes, yes. Absolutely. Love, father, and mother. Bless you. Absolutely. Beautiful. Beautiful artwork. This one is fucked. All right. Look at these people's faces, bro. Also, what happened to the back of the plane? Jesus just sitting on, what is that, like a box? Like, what is that? He's just chilling, and what the hell happened to these people's faces? Beautiful cabin crew. Scarlett Johansson. Hashtag Jennifer Lopez. I agree. Jesus, that's terrifying. And you know what's even more terrifying than that? This one. This is one of the most horrifying things I've ever seen. Ever. Alright? This is an army of silly putty flight attendants, and this is 2 airplanes that are kind of clipping together with the craziest image of Jesus I've ever seen in my life. His eyes are horrifying. This is crazy. All right, this is terrifying. Whoever made this should be arrested, but that didn't prevent 10,000 people from liking this and 17 people from sharing it. And here's the other thing. If you open up any of these images, there's countless comments of people just going, amen, amen. Thank you, Lord. Amen, 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 amen. Yeah, amen to this. Dude, what the fuck, man? It's like zoomed in. This is horrifying. This is the most what the fuck is going on here? How could you, like, look at this and be like, amen, brother? Oh, man. Like, oh, God, dude. This is the scariest shit I've ever seen. I'm going to get off this slide immediately. All right, now we've got 6 flight attendants standing in the middle of, like, Niagara Falls, where there's an airplane that is about to fly directly into a cliff, and Jesus is like, hell yeah, hell yeah. Now, I wanted to juxtapose this with this image, which is a bunch of flight attendants having a picnic in front of what appears to be New York City. And this one looks like Jesus is not happy. His face is shrouded. He's looking like the Mandela catalog. He is extremely... It's very ominous, is all I'm going to say, so I can only conclude that Jesus does not approve of flight attendants having picnics, I guess. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I mean, he looks very scary. You can kind of make out some of the features of his darkened face. Terrifying, but this is one of my favorite ones. It's just Jesus with a bunch of flight attendants. He's like 12 feet tall, and he's holding up money with a bunch of flight attendants, and I thought that is awesome. This image goes so fucking hard. Amen. Follow me. Beautiful cabin crew. Scarlett Johansson. #boom challenge. Send it, brother. Get those fucking ducats, baby. Alright, well, that concludes that section. So at this point I was hooked, and I was like, I need to find out what kind of content, AI-generated Christian content, is out there, because this is amazing so far. Obviously, I think this is probably the greatest artwork that's ever been created, if you couldn't tell by my reaction here. This one's pretty innocuous. You've probably seen like 50 million posts like this. I'm just putting it in there for documentation purposes, alright? So this is Landscape Jesus. This one is interesting. This is kind of like some Avatar shit. This isn't even like a real landscape. It's like a fantasy landscape. Looks like maybe some Outer Wild shit. That is resembling Jesus, I guess. I mean, it's all right. Like, it's fine, I guess. AI-generated Jesus landscape. People living in a weird floating tree village. Cool. Scarlett Johansson. And then this one right here is Jesus' face carved into the side of a mountain. Probably happened via natural erosion and the elements over time. Why don't pictures like this ever trend? Scarlett Johansson. This one is Jesus at what appears to be like Arches National Park, maybe somewhere in the Grand Canyon area, somewhere in the Utah Grand Canyon area. And this is the weirdest landscape I've ever seen. There's a cloud that is forming his eyeball. Why don't pictures like this ever trend? Amen. Beautiful cabin crew. Absolutely beautiful cabin crew here. Scarlett Johansson. Jesus with us. Yep, I agree. And this next section, let's just get on to the next section. Now this one I quite enjoy, and this is what I'm calling Jesus Contraptions. Okay, it's kind of an umbrella term for these images, which I like these ones quite a bit. This is one of my favorite sections, alright? It's not super long, but you can see here, this is less of a contraption and more of a sculpture, I would say, but I think it thematically fits the category, as you're going to see. This appears to be a gigantic driftwood sculpture of Jesus being held up by like 5 logs that a bunch of men are standing under. Awesome. I think that's very safe. That's a very good idea. The tide is coming in. Everything adds up here. No questions here. This makes total sense to me. May 2024 is your best year. I agree, PS Off-Road. Here, now this is what I mean. What is this? What the fuck is that? It looks like they are carrying a gigantic statue out of the ocean that is made of wood. So it looks to me like somebody built some sort of, like, what is it? It's like a giant box with like a statue of Jesus carved into the front, and it like washed up on the shore, and a bunch of fucking dads decide to get out there and lift this thing. Like, this thing looks like it weighs like 500 tons, and just a bunch of dads are getting in there like, we got to get this thing out of the water. Like, what is the story behind this? This looks like, this must be some kind of contraption. I don't know what the fuck it is, but if you don't count this as a contraption, this one you will definitely count as a contraption, because this appears to me to be some sort of Jesus-based siege weapon. And so I can only assume that these shirtless men have landed on the shore of a foreign country and are wheeling this Jesus siege weapon in to lay siege to some town. Like, that's the only thing I can imagine. Like this has wheels. These are like fucking Star Wars sandcrawler wheels, dude. And they're wheeling this in. I don't know, like they're gonna bust down a wall or some shit, like break a building. But they're motivated. You can see they're running after this thing. Like this guy's like waving them down, like hurry the fuck up. Let's get this thing to the town. Like, what is happening here, man? Now this is another Jesus siege weapon, I'm assuming. This one does not have quite the wheels that the other one did, but it has a man in the front who appears to be pulling this thing. So this one man here and one man back here making sure the logs don't fall off apparently are able to pull this gigantic contraption across sand. So this guy is jacked as shit. He's got the power of God on his side, I'm assuming, that's allowing him to do this. And then I think after this, yes, okay, this is where we get to the category of, once again, beautiful cabin crew, Scarlett Johansson. We are back to planes. Now this time it is giant wooden sculptures of Jesus built on top of planes. Now this doesn't seem super safe to me. It is a giant wooden sculpture, probably not the most aerodynamic thing that you could put on top of a plane. And there are a bunch of people just standing up there. It kind of looks like there's like a weird nest thing going on. There's that scaffolding, but there's just people standing up there. So I'm hoping that they're not going to, you know, launch a plane like this with a bunch of people on top of it. But, you know, if you got, I guess you got to do what you got to do. This one is another iteration. Now, okay, what I got to say here is this. If I saw a wood-paneled airplane, that shit would be so tight. All right, that's all I'm gonna say. If I saw like a fucking airline just roll out a fleet of wood-paneled fucking airplanes, I would go with them every time because that's sick as shit. People should be taking notes here. But then, yeah, if there was a giant statue of Jesus on the back, I would probably pass because that doesn't seem super safe to me. And then here, now this one is the sickest of them all. This pick goes crazy hard. Beautiful cabin crew, Scarlett Johansson. This is what appears to be a palace built on the top of a airplane. And there is a gigantic statue, or that just might be Jesus himself, sitting on the back. And in back of him is like what looks like a statue of a biblically accurate angel or something of the sort. Like it has a bunch of fucking eyes all over it. This is the sickest shit I've ever seen, I think. So I'm definitely giving this a beautiful cabin crew out of 10. This is definitely a Scarlett Johansson post if I've ever seen one. Now, okay, this next category, this one will be popular, I think. I enjoy it. This is Jesus and pets. So Jesus, in various scenarios involving furry little friends. So let's just get into it. So here, this one, I think that what's happening here, if I'm not mistaken, because this appears to be kind of like a manger situation, is I think this is supposed to be Joseph, and that's baby Jesus, is what I'm assuming. But he's got like just a couple of dogs with him. And you know what's also weird about that is like this is either Jesus or Joseph. I'm assuming it's Joseph. Why is there a crucifix in the background? Like did they know this was going to happen like right off the bat? They're like, "Yep, that's you. That's what you're going to grow up to be one day." I mean, I guess so. But these guys were just rocking some fucking modern day dogs, you know? I'm all for it. All right, let's take a look at this one. Now this one, I would like to know the lore behind this. This appears to be a group of people who are having a very bad time in the water, and a bunch of cats who are also having a bad time in the water, and Jesus has determined that he is going to save this cat in particular, this beautiful little cat. Beautiful cabin crew, Scarlett Johansson. I don't know, could this be Moses actually leading the Israelites across the Red Sea, like parting the sea? But then why are there cats? I don't know. Okay. Anyway, now this one, Okay, there's going to be a lot of overlap between these categories, by the way. All right, this is kind of an overlap with the flight attendant category, but it's also an overlap with a future category, which is going to be mud, because for some reason there's so much fucking mud in these pictures. But this one had more animals than anything else, so I was like, all right, this appears to be Jesus collapsed in a field next to an airplane, being awoken by, I don't know if that's a flight attendant or if that's like who, I don't know what that is. But there are a bunch of dogs around, and there's this adorable little, is that like a bulldog or some shit, trying to wake him up? I don't know. And there's people just toiling in the mud in the background. This is, I think this is kind of telling a story too. So I'm assuming he like maybe fell out of the plane, landed in a field, and there's a fuckload of dogs. He's still unconscious by the time that this woman finds him, but there are still more different dogs that are in the background. He's just chilling with this. It's like a teacup. I don't fucking know what the hell. I don't know dogs. All right, but they're dogs. Okay. Now this one's interesting. This looks like there is a woman. I mean, I think this is supposed to be a woman helping Jesus out of the mud. But it kind of, to me, what it looks like is it kind of looks like she's stealing his dog. Like, he's like, hey, wait a second, that's my dog. Like, that's what it looks like to me. There's a church here that has a bunch of dogs. It looks like they're in the fucking Swiss Alps or some shit. But for some reason, like this is like a beautiful field, and for some reason he has landed in the only puddle in existence. And he's getting his dog stolen by this fucking vet or something. Today's best photo. I agree. So I'm my conclusion here. So he's got the crown of thorns now. He is walking through a muddy ditch with more dogs. So I'm assuming like what happened here is he's been unconscious. He wakes up when a woman steals one of his dogs, one of his precious dogs, and he says, "I'm getting the fuck out of here. I'm going to take as many dogs as I can and get out of here before I get any more of my dogs stolen." And Scarlett Johansson, beautiful cabin crew, absolutely. And here is him continuing his journey. He's also stealing one of their children, I'm assuming, and he's marching his procession of dogs and his stolen child down a muddy ditch. When he's in a field of flowers, he decides, I'm going to trudge down a muddy ditch with my crew. Anyway, sorry. This next category is Jesus just vibing. I like this category. This is also one of my favorite categories. It's going to get progressively more unhinged from here on out. But these ones are just Jesus having a good time, is what I would say. So this one here is just Jesus. He's in like a fucking, like, what's that one artist that everybody has jigsaw puzzles of? It's like he's like in one of those scenes swinging. Is that like a snowman in the background? There's no snow anywhere around. There's just one snowman, I guess. Lucky Geely Slots Online Casino posted this. That seems like a pretty godly organization if I've ever heard of one. But yeah, Jesus is just vibing on a swing in autumn. I mean, this looks awesome, man. I like this one. This one's sick. Now this one's interesting. This one kind of goes hard. All right. This one is posted by Get Free PHP 20 and deposit 200, claim 400 slots. Games Play Online PH with a slot machine as the profile pic. And so obviously this page would be posting an image of Jesus painting the earth, it looks like, surrounded by sheep with a couple of kids, and he is drinking, looks like tea out of a mug. Now this looks like a chill ass time. I got no complaints here. This looks awesome, right? I would love to kick back, drink some tea, and hang out with a bunch of sheep and paint a planet into existence. That would be sick. Chill ass time. I agree. All right, now this one, beautiful cabin crew, Scarlett Johansson, boom challenge. This is Jesus at what appears to be a flight attendant picnic. And he's cheesing, and he's drinking some wine. They're all drinking wine. He probably turned some water into wine. And these beautiful folks here are sitting in a field with. They still have an airplane in the background, and they have a board that is full of burgers. So they're just having a picnic with Jesus. They're like, hell yeah, man. I mean, we love our flight attendants. They're apparently the holiest of classes here. Now this is the follow-up. Now he looks even more... They all look incredibly deranged here at this picnic. You'll notice that this man has his feet in sliders in the burgers. So a little bit of a Burger King foot lettuce scenario. Yeah, they're having a great time. I mean, he's fucking cheesing. He's like the life of the party right now. I mean, just kicking back with some flight attendant friends in a park, it looks like, and putting their feet on their burgers and just having a good time. Yeah, okay, now this category is kind of odd. I included a few of them. I'm probably going to blast through these, but this is kind of like, I'm calling this like Fairytale Jesus, this category. So, let's see what I mean here. So I think this is Mary and Joseph, and they're like in a garden or something, right? So this one doesn't really have like fairy tale elements, but it's going to get gradually more and more weird as we move on, all right? Hey, this one at least admits it's AI. Next March 2024 is your best year, absolutely. Then there is, this is them standing in a beautiful field. Yeah, I guess. And then this is them. Now this one's confusing to me. This looks like the end of like Lord of the Rings when they're like sending the, fuckers off on the ship. Bilbo and shit. It's kind of like, what is going on here? Is this Mary and Joseph still? And then that's like a ship, like a medieval ship. And then, like, are these supposed to be rocks? They look like eggs, dude. Like this looks like where you find like the Orphan of Kos, dude. And there's like a bunch of, I don't know if there's eggs or something, but I'm just, this is what I'm imagining. Yeah, this is strange to me. All right. Now here's where we start to introduce more creatures. So this is Mary and Joseph again, I think, standing in a field with horses. And then this is Mary and Joseph with, I'm assuming, baby Jesus surrounded by a bunch of forest animals. They were definitely not in the Middle East or anything, They were in a verdant forest with picturesque, mountains in the background. And are those like fairies or are those birds? Like this one has like 3 wings. I don't know. Now this one explicitly has a fairy in it, okay? Which appears to be 3 arms, maybe? I can't really tell. But yeah, they are, once again, I'm assuming Mary and Joseph in a field with a bunch of wildlife. Now this is, May 2024, your best year. This has more fairies and yet more wildlife. Now this one goes hard as fuck, actually. There's a Pegasus in the background, a bunch of angels or pixies or something. There's lions here, but then there's just a normal-ass house cat chilling. There's a bunch of fucking things. There's a fucking blood red moon. And Jesus is just sleeping on a tree. And who's that old man? It's just an old man with a stick. This one's crazy. Jennifer Lopez, I definitely see how this relates to that. Scarlett Johansson, beautiful cabin crew. And now this is a horse. This is I think Mary and Joseph riding a horse through the water, and there are dragons in the background who are coming in to swoop in and I'm assuming devour them quickly. So that's pretty cool. And then this one's crazy. This is Jesus holding a baby. I'm pretty sure that's Jesus. He has a bunch of lions around him, which is pretty sick, and he's got a bunch of pixies and fairies and shit. And beautiful cabin crew, Scarlett Johansson, Blood Moon. And now this one is my favorite. This is my favorite one. This might be my favorite image today, actually. For one particular reason. This is Mary and Joseph, I believe, with a bunch of animals. There is I'll just say like a cherub or something, but then what the fuck is this? Like, there's a gremlin who is attending the birth of Jesus. That is like Yoda. That is a goblin. That is a goblin in the audience. And it's fucking hilarious to me. That is a gremlin. So, yes, this is the best one so far. Beautiful cabin crew, Scarlett Johansson. Now, this one will be a little bit short, but I'm calling this one Eldritch Jesus, which are a variety of images that evoke some amount of anxiety or dread in me. I mean, most of these do, to be honest. But this one right here, this one's kind of sick, honestly. This kind of looks like you'd go out here and you'd go through a portal to the Shivering Isles, but it is Jesus's head. Why don't pictures like this ever trend? Amen. Beautiful cabin view, Scarlett Johansson. And now this one is kind of the same thing, but he looks fucked in this one. He looks like he has leprosy, and he is made of wood. He has a crown of thorns. Beautiful. That is a beautiful cabin crew situation. I've ever seen one. And now this one right here this one's terrifying. This looks like there's a movie I saw like on Netflix called like Apostle or something like that, where a guy gets his like head drilled in like an apple, like an apple core. This reminds me of that movie for some reason, because there's like a woman who gets covered in roots or something. But that is an eldritch abomination if I've ever seen one. But it's beautiful cabin crew, Scarlett Johansson. Anyway, this is Himbo Jesus right here, and this is a category where it's basically just pictures of Jesus as a hot young man. As far as I can tell, AI generated images of hot Jesus. Now, yeah. So you can see here that this dude's name, I mean, this is Jesus, I guess, and he has a flaming cross. That shirt goes so hard, honestly. Like it's like a weird torn up V-neck sort of a situation with flames and a flaming cross on it. I mean, that's pretty sick. This guy is hella fuckable, this version of Jesus here. This one is a little more low-key. This is kind of a guy you'd meet. He looks like you'd meet him at a New Year's party, this version of Jesus here. Also, is he wearing a Star of David? I guess that makes sense, right? Because he was a Jew, right? So I guess that adds up. But this is Jesus that you meet at a New Year's party, it appears to me, and he wants to fuck. All right. Now, this category, I don't understand. All right? I don't understand why there's so many images that are like this. I'm calling this the mud category, and you will see why. To start off with, this is an image of a bunch of women praying in the mud, in a muddy field, with a cross, a crucifix in the background. You'll see here, there's another image of two flight attendants. Like I said, there's overlap. Beautiful cabin crew, Scarlett Johansson, praying just in the mud. There's like a grassy field back here, but then for some reason they decided to kneel down in the mud, and then Jesus is just chilling over here like, all right, I guess I'll kneel in the mud. This is a bunch of women who appear to be in school uniforms that are like kneeling in a muddy river, like grabbing a crucifix. Once again, Scarlett Johansson, like they're why are they in a river, dude? I don't get it. Why isn't the river like nicer? It's like a big muddy shitty river, dude. This is them. They are praying to Jesus here. They took their Subaru and their Subi squad, and they came out to this particular crucifix, which is in the middle of a mud field, and they are kneeling down. That looks painful as shit. They just have their bare knees on a bunch of rocks, and they are praying to Jesus here. Scarlett Johansson, and here are a bunch of flight attendants praying in a muddy field to a fuzzy cross. This looks like they put shag carpet on a cross that Jesus is nailed to. These people over here have actually a nice umbrella set up so they won't get wet as they kneel in a mud field. And then here we've got a bunch of flight attendants kneeling in the mud in front of the most fucked up crucifix I've ever seen. Like, it looks, what the hell is going on with that shit, dude? Like, that's terrifying. So they're all kneeling in a V formation in front of this horrifying crucifix. And now here is Jesus, the crown of thorns, pushing a flight attendant in a wheelchair through a muddy river with the aid of a bunch of calves, while an airplane, well, it's like a muddy river between like Niagara Falls, while an airplane careens through the middle of them. I couldn't tell you. I mean, it makes perfect sense to me, actually. Yeah, why not? Why not? Now, this one was funny to me because there's a woman who has fallen, apparently, in a field of mud. And these look like, I don't know, cabbages or something. But it kind of looks like he's just kind of like dragging her through a field of mud. I thought that was kind of funny. This one is a flight attendant helping Jesus, who is in mud. This must have been after this image here. They must have crashed the airplane, and they're helping Jesus to get onto the crashed airplane, which is apparently full of water. I don't know why, but the flight attendant is helping him in some way, it appears. May 2024 is your best year. And here is another woman who they've landed a plane in a muddy field. There are dogs here. This is definitely today's best photo. And they're apparently helping Jesus out of what appears to be quicksand and potentially getting onto the plane? I don't know. Now, here's a reversal. This is a plane full of mud, and he already has the dog, and is Jesus in a nice yellow suit that looks vaguely flight attendant-ish, but he is helping a woman who is trapped in the plane mud. Yeah, why not? Why not? And now this one. This one, I think, tells a little bit of a story. This is what I'm calling the Ascendant Flight Attendant, all right, because it rhymes. And this kind of tells a story. There is a woman who is a flight attendant. She begins praying. This is her on the airplane praying, right? Now she gets up out of her seat. This is the same woman praying, and you can see Jesus in the background here. You know, she's praying to Jesus. She proceeds down the aisle, and it's like she takes kind of like a half squat here. It looks kind of like she's sitting, but she's not. Also, like, what is up with her fucking hand, dude? It looks like she's like praying, but she's only got one hand here, but she's got like 2 sets of fingers on it. That is horrifying. Okay, that is terrifying. And Jesus is kind of like looking up, like he's rolling his eyes right now. There's Jesus again. She's proceeding to the front of the plane, I'm assuming. Although that looks like the back of the chairs because there's a little screen on the back. I don't fucking know. But she's off the plane now. She's made it off the plane. We can try to see what her name is. It looks like Pastinky or something like that. And Jesus is in the background here. And, Scarlett Johansson, obviously. She's praying to Jesus. She's praying to Jesus. She has never opened her eyes. She's made it off the plane without opening her eyes one single time. And now she's standing in front of an image of Jesus. Now here's the thing. She gets promoted, and now she's the pilot. And she still hasn't opened her eyes, but she's using the power of Jesus, I think, to navigate here. And now, she is a full-on pilot. There's nobody piloting this plane. She's letting Jesus take the wheel. Scarlett Johansson, beautiful cabin crew. I just thought that was a beautiful little story to tell. I don't know why there are so many images of this particular woman. I don't know if this is a real person that they're basing this off of, but it's the same person over and over again standing in front of Jesus, and I thought it was weird that there were so many goddamn images of this woman. But she became a pilot. She ascended from flight attendant to being the holiest of pilots, so congratulations to her. It's kind of a little bit of a story. Now, this category is kind of fucked. This is what I'm calling Jesus is Rizzin. Alright, and you will see why. Alright, so to start off with, this is Jesus kind of becoming there are people fangirling over Jesus here. So he's got his fans. They're holding up an image of Jesus where it looks kind of like he got a little bit cutified here, and they are both angels. They've got their little halos. They are, once again, on an airplane for some reason. They're flight attendants, makes perfect sense. Why not, And then here's an entire squad of flight attendants who are, I think, obsessed with Jesus at this point. They think he's a hottie. They have all got their little Jesus cards here, and they are all praying in unison on the world's widest airplane. And now here are two sexy ladies, beautiful cabin crew, Scarlett Johansson, standing right next to our friend Jesus here. This got 19,000 likes. Two beautiful women standing next to Jesus. These are two beautiful women standing in front of Jesus, beautiful cabin crew. This is four beautiful women standing in front of Jesus. And this is three beautiful women standing in front of Jesus. There's two beautiful women standing in front of Jesus. And now, this is terrifying. This looks like... There was a story I read. It was like scary stories to tell in the dark. You know, those like books you read as a kid. There was one about like this kid who was like misbehaving, right? And like the mom kept threatening that if the kid kept misbehaving, that when she came home, she would find like her mom was replaced with like a woman with glass eyes and a wooden tail. This is what I'd imagine that fucking woman would look like. Look at those fucking eyes, dude. Those are like shark eyes, dude. What the hell? But these two flight attendants are very close to Jesus here. You can see here now, this is where it's getting a little bit suggestive, we would say. So we can see here Jesus is hiding something under there, and he is ripped to shit. He looks a little bit flabbergasted, we'll say, and hiding something there. And there are two beautiful women grabbing both of his arms. Looks like he has some tats here. Some tats? Tatted up Jesus. Hell yeah, brother. This is two women getting their hands awfully close to something. And he's looking rather pleased with himself. There you go. Scarlett Johansson. Love God and God love you. Absolutely. They're definitely loving God here. Now this is three women with their cleavage. Beautiful day, making good day, boom challenge. Standing in front of Jesus, who looks pretty stoked. He's like, this is pretty good. What I like here too is that the random men in the background are also praying along here. This is a flight attendant and a military woman. Looks like they're kind of cozying up to Jesus here. Hashtag Jennifer Lopez. And yeah, Jesus is like, girls, I have to get back to my studies, reading my own book. But they are... I'm not going to say anything else about this one. This one, I don't know what to make of this one. This is an airplane that has appeared to have landed in a debris-filled field with some people squatting in the background and a very voluptuous woman who is being grabbed by a man back here with a crucifix between her tits. And she is wearing a crown of thorns here. Yeah, Scarlett Johansson. Oh, this one is this is Jesus with a crown of thorns on, bleeding from his head, and two women cozying up to him. He's got an interesting expression on his face here. And now this one is two flight attendants with a crucifix here. What are their hands doing? What are their hands doing? Oh my God, she's grabbing the thing. Okay, we're skipping here. Oh, what is happening here? We are moving on. All right. We're moving on to this category. This is military himbos for Jesus. Now, this is a fun one. All right, now you're probably asking yourself, what does that mean? It's exactly what it sounds like. These are a bunch of handsome, strapping military men who all are praying to God here. All right, we got some strapping young men from the military, looking badass, hanging out with Jesus here. This is tatted up Jesus. He's wearing a crucifix around his neck. He's holding up a, I don't know, like a truncated fucking cross above his head. Shit's wacky. Shit's wacko mode. Making good day. Now, this is a squad of shirtless military himbos standing in front of a bunch of flying jets with a crucifix in the background and a couple of tanks for good measure. Now, this guy is wearing a belt of rounds around his neck. Pretty sick. He kind of looks like Jesus himself almost. Now this is a bunch of more shirtless men. This guy is, I don't even know if he's holding on to this or if he's just propping it up between his giant pecs. But they're kneeling down in front of a military chopper, and he is reading some book. I'm assuming it's the Bible, but that is more words than the Bible. That doesn't just say the Bible there. Anyway, this one is a bunch of men kneeling down in a landing strip, it looks like, with some jets, and there is Jesus wearing an American flag sash, it appears. Or is that an American flag? I don't know. I couldn't tell you, but there's Jesus back there who is obviously very patriotic. Now this one is interesting because there's a bunch of busted-ass military dudes. There's a plane, and there are multiple planes, but they're not military planes. And Jesus is in front of what looks to be like a double-decker cross. So like you could crucify like two people on this one. And there he's got like an audience of people. This one's a little bit confusing to me. But beautiful cabin crew, Scarlett Johansson. And this is where it starts to get really dope. Really dope. Because this one goes pretty fucking hard. This is Jesus flying in the air. And what appears to be granting these military boys the power of flight as they are floating outside of a fighter jet. Amen. Years and years of good luck for you. Thanks for boom challenge. All right. And now this one is awesome. It looks like these guys have been scaled up and they're riding on top of an airplane, and Jesus is kind of flying along in the background pretending to be an airplane with an American flag, and it looks like they're flying over Europe. So it looks like they're on trajectory with they're going to Australia or some shit. I couldn't really tell you from this orientation, but hell yeah. Now this one is fucking awesome. This is like they're in space now, but it's another plane, but they're walking. It's like they're doing like a spacewalk, and Jesus is still pretending to be a plane here, and there's another version of Jesus with what appears to be like a staff in the background, and it's like got this weird cosmic background here. This is awesome, Scarlett Johansson, and I just wanted to say, God bless your service, all right? From the Delcila Satellite Airlines. And there's Jesus right there. He's like, hey, God bless you. And then he's got the American flag in the background. Oh, man. All right, this is a miscellaneous section before we start to get into more weird shit. All right, this one was interesting to me. This is what appears to be a painting of Jesus, and it has a crowd of people that part of them are in the painting, and part of them are outside of the painting, and it appears that at least like 5 people have died. So I don't really understand what's happening. Like these people are just dead, and they're all like I don't know what's happening here. I couldn't tell you. It was very confusing to me. This one it looks like a theater full of people watching Jesus, just kind of watching him like a movie. I mean, this guy's reading a book. Like he's like, oh shit, something's going on out here. I couldn't tell you, but beautiful cabin crew, Scarlett Johansson, 100%. This one I thought was funny. It is 3 women appearing to study or read books or whatever, and it's kind of Jesus in the background going, what the fuck? He's put his hands up like, what the fuck is this? Like, I'm assuming he's like, hey, I mean, a woman ate from the tree of knowledge once, and they haven't learned from that. They're women learning, deplorable. That's what I'm assuming he's thinking right here. Beautiful cabin crew, Scarlett Johansson. Love, Father, and Mother bless you. This is this like the rapture? Like it's a bunch of people praying in some sort of building collapse. They don't seem too perturbed, and they're just kneeling in a pile of rubble. And Jesus is in the background, like, is he like summoning lightning to smite these people? Also, I like the name of this one. Happiness and Daily Prayer, and it's just an apocalyptic scenario here. Couldn't tell you what that's about. This one is similar. This one has a flight attendant, our signature flight attendant, and an airplane, and a city that is collapsing, people running for their lives. But of course, our holiest of flight attendants is calm and collected in the middle of all this chaos. Makes perfect sense. Makes perfect sense. She has her picture of Jesus with her. As we know, flight attendants for some reason are incredibly holy, supposedly. Beautiful cabin crew. This is an interesting one. This is what appears to be a statue, a golden statue of Jesus with angel wings and a what are they called? It's like just like a flower, ringlet thing around his head. I don't fucking know what to call it. But he is what looks like rescuing a woman who, well, it's like a statue of a woman who appears to be a flight attendant, but he's got like 4 arms, because he's got an arm here grabbing her leg, and then an arm here grabbing her arm, and then an arm here lifting her up. Or is there like a little man who's like crouching down behind Jesus here? And then there's all these people who are apparently they're part of the statue, but they're like trying to lift Jesus across this stream, and somebody collapsed in the background. This was very confusing to me. I don't know what the fuck's going on. Also, the clothing is like real. Here's another one that's similar, where it's Jesus holding a woman, and there's a bunch of men who are like, it looks like they're like trying to prevent this thing from falling over when it has like the chunkiest base I've ever seen. Like, I don't know what they're doing. Are they like trying to move it, or are they trying to like make sure it doesn't fall over? And then I don't know, man. This is Jesus as looks like to be a tsunami. So he's coming in to destroy the coast, I guess. I mean, pretty sick, to be honest. Or he's like a water elemental here. This is Jesus made out of a bunch of fruits and well, just fruits, I guess. I mean, it looks kind of delicious. Like, these blackberries look fucking nice and juicy. Got some Granny Smiths down here. I'm wondering, what are the eyes made out of? Because that's kind of terrifying. It's like all this fruit. I can pick out individual fruits, and then there's just these eyes. Ugh, that's kind of creepy, actually. May 2024 is the best year. This one I thought was interesting. This looks like a bunch of cave miners have discovered a mysterious Jesus statue in a mine where they have these gigantic fucking gems just floating in the water, and they're all kind of like surrounding. Like, what the fuck is this? Like, this is definitely like the middle of an analog horror series where they've uncovered some sort of mysterious artifact that they weren't supposed to. But I just love these like chunky ass like Lego gems. They're just floating in the water. That's pretty sick. This one is it looks like they're in some South American country. There's a big road that a woman has collapsed in the middle of. It looks like a fucking highway. It looks like Jesus is trying to like help her up, and there's just like 2 dogs in the background. I thought this one was odd. Okay, now this section is very fun. This might be my favorite section, almost. And this is Jesus kicking ass. Alright? And it's exactly what it sounds like. Alright, so let's start off here. This Jesus is jacked, dude. Look at that. Look at that. This Jesus is fucking rippling, muscly Jesus. He's king of the cosmos here. We got another image here. This fucking Chad Jesus here. He's like, hello, my children. Hello. Join me. Kneel before me. Like, that's kind of what he looks like here. He's got his beautiful crown. He's got his faithful people praying to him. He is surrounded in holy flame in front of the earth. Pretty sick. So we're off to a good start. God Emperor Jesus himself. This is an image of Jesus karate kicking Satan in the throat kicking him. I thought that was pretty fucking sick. He's got a halo. He's just fucking kicking this dude in the throat. Pretty awesome. Thank you to those who appreciates it. It's beautiful cabin crew. Scarlett Johansson. This is Jesus with a blue flaming sword, using lightning powers to shock either a demon or Satan. with this looks like a bunch of like fucking, like these are like White Walkers or some shit from Game of Thrones. Like this is some Warhammer artwork, tbh. This is Jesus amassing what I'm assuming he's amassing an army of sheep to go and take over hell or something. He's like, "Come with me, my sheep army. We will descend into the hells and destroy Satan where he stands." This is also posted by Get Free PHP 20 and deposit 200, claim 400 slots, game, play online, PH. This is confusing to me. This looks like Jesus is poking a massive hole with a dagger, and the demons don't seem to like having their hole be penetrated here. Yeah, I don't know what the significance of the hole is. He's kind of poking down there. He's like, "Oh, what the fuck is this thing?" And then all of the demons are squealing in anguish. I'm gonna make a theory that this is one collective butthole for all of Hell's denizens, and so they are all getting it up the ass simultaneously right now. That's my artistic interpretation of what is happening. This is Jesus, and I'm assuming God, even though they're the same person, descending into battle. This is just straight up Warhammer like artwork. Like that's like the God Emperor, and then like these are just fucking chaos demons, bro. This one is Jesus with a sword that's like Frostmourne or some shit, wielding lightning. What I think is funny here is it's like there's lightning coming off and striking this demon, but this dude down here is like grabbing onto it. He's like, "I'm gonna help you out, Jesus," and he's striking down this demon here. It's pretty sweet. This is ripped as shit Jesus with a blue flaming sword fighting Satan. Once again, this is buff dad Jesus with a blue flaming sword fighting Satan. This is Jesus kind of standing above Satan. This reminded me of like Doom guy, like that image where he's like shooting down into the demons in the field, you know? This one especially looked like that. Like this is just Jesus triumphing over evil, I guess, in a field. I mean, these images all go hard as fuck. And now this one was confusing to me because it looks like there's like a massive battle going on, but they're kind of just like grabbing arms, like, "Hell yeah, brother," like up in the middle of it here. Definitely a Scarlett Johansson vibe here. And this one was also interesting to me because you might look at this and it looks like Jesus is kind of like, I don't know, dominating the demon here. But to me, this actually looks like he's reading him like a bedtime story, and Satan is just kind of like yawning, like, "Oh, that was a good story. I'm all tuckered out now," you know? But he's still wielding Frostmourne. Now, this one, this one is a little confusing to me. Thank you, Jilly Slots Legit 777 Casino Online PH. This is a giant hand dropping Jesus down onto like a paved path with like the biggest fucking great sword I've ever seen. Once again, blue flaming, because it has to be facing off against Satan here. What I love here is this is just a group of people recording it on their like iPhones. Like this is pretty accurate for what would happen if like the rapture was happening. Everybody whipping out their phones like, "Holy shit, this is crazy. I gotta get this up on my Instagram story." I appreciate that. I love how it's like a group of people. I'm assuming these are all like demons, but like one of the demons, he's still recording over here. He's like, "I gotta get some sweet footy for my my Snapchat, you know, story, bro." Now sorry. This one. This one's a little bit This is what appears to be Jesus stomping on Satan's nuts and getting his toes licked by Satan. Why don't pictures like this ever trend, dude? Amen. Beautiful cabin crew. Scarlett Johansson. This is certainly a Scarlett Johansson moment. This is some cock and ball torture and a little bit of freaky feet going on. Also, Big Hero 6 in the background. Yeah, that's great. All right, well, that was kind of, honestly, this kind of applies to this one here. What the fuck? But this category, like, I don't even know how to describe it. These are just ones that I'm like, what is happening? Like, I think this is one of the most shocking images, but these ones I'm just like, I don't know what what were people thinking? Like, how did people think of the prompts? And then with some of them, like, why are there so many of them? All right, this one is like Jesus in the middle of a jungle, surrounded by like hanging idols. But the most confusing part of this one for me is it's like a cross, right? And this looks like fucking like, I don't know, like Minecraft would. But then there's like steps up here, so I can only assume that this is like the base of like a tree house. Like you have to climb up the crucifix and like step on Jesus's head, and then you get up onto these steps that go up to a tree house. Like, why is there like a ladder above this? All right, according to Jerusalem Mary, good luck is all around you. Don't be afraid to reach out for it. Thank you for the likes. You're welcome. Now, what the fuck is that? Years and years of good luck for you. Thanks for the like. Hashtag imagination. This is like Jesus feeding what looks like it's like a reptile buffalo. It's got like buffalo horns and like a snake tongue, and it's like a snake, but it's a buffalo, and he's like feeding it. Like, what the fuck is going on, dude? What is this? What is this? Now, what the fuck is this, dude? We're back to the flight attendants, but it's like they're floating in the air, and there's a crucifix so fucking tall, and it's got Jesus on it, but it's got like a signpost on here. There's like a fucking airplane flying in the back. There's another airplane here. What is happening? Why is this flight attendant like disrobing here in front of all of us? I mean, it is Scarlett Johansson, but I don't know what's going on. Now, what is happening here? What is happening here? This is like a statue of Jesus, and he's like condemning another statue of Jesus to like hell. And they're all like, oh my god, what is going on? Oh my, what the fuck? That's me right now. What are you doing? It looks like he kind of was like holding him up and dropped him into a pit, and he's getting sent to hell or something. Definitely beautiful cabin crew. What is this, dude? This is like on the coast. It's like a field of people, including Jesus, still wearing his crown of thorns, and it's like a fleet of nurses that all are like trying to hydrate him. Like they've got their water bottles and they're like attending to Jesus and attending to all of these like golden statues. Years and years of good luck for you, absolutely. Like, what is happening? All these sexy nurses like trying to give him water. What's a statue? It's like, what? Now now this is the most confusing shit to me. I don't know. I mean, there's so many that are like this, and I don't understand why or what the fuck is going on. All right, it's like a statue of Jesus, and there's a bunch of people like reaching up to try to like grab at him, and there's always a helicopter. There's always like a helicopter just like flying either like into the statue or behind it. Like this one is like, I don't know what's going on. Like, why is this helicopter here? Why they're like crowd surfing Jesus here on like a wooden platform, and there's a helicopter in the background. There's like a bunch of people like running in a field to get in here to like help crowd surf Jesus here. May 2024 is your best year. This is them crowd surfing Jesus. There's once again, there's a helicopter. This guy's like jumping out of a helicopter to come down and assist with the crowd surfing the Jesus statue, I guess. This is them all, you know, they've lifted and they've crowd surfed a Jesus statue onto a car, and there's just a huge crowd of people with once again a fucking helicopter here. This one is crazy. This is like they've made a pyre, and like it's terrifying. These are like logs. It looks like a pyre, but they're hands, dude. There's like hands reaching up and lifting up this statue of Jesus, and they're landing a helicopter on him. And if you look closely, these are like are these the fucking wise men? Are these like the disciples like landing a helicopter on Jesus? There's like a crowd of people. Like, what is happening, dude? This is the biggest statue I've ever seen. There's another helicopter. It's gonna crash right into the statue, bro. huge crowd of people. There's like, this is a truck that's wheels, but they're like pushing it or something. And then there's a bunch of fucking people in the statue that are lifting Jesus up. This one is the craziest one. This is a statue of Jesus. There's a huge crowd of people all reaching towards him, but he's nailed to a helicopter, and the helicopter has a bunch of fucking people like all over it. He's nailed to a helicopter. What is happening, bro? All right. I had to share this. I had to share this with the world. That's the end of the presentation. That was like, I spent all afternoon, not all afternoon, like a few hours just downloading these images because I thought I was losing my mind. I was like, this doesn't make any sense. This is unreal. What is going on? I need to share this with people. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any explanation as to what is going on with any of these fucking crazy ass pictures, please let me know. Once again, this is in no way me disrespecting religion. If anything, I think that the people who made these images should be arrested. They should be thrown in jail and never let out again. Okay? And if you somehow are misconstruing this as an endorsement of AI artwork, you are dead wrong, buddy. This shit is this is abominable. This is the worst shit I've ever seen in my life. This is the most offensive shit. I'm not even religious. This is offensive to me. What is this? Please, somebody who has any knowledge of the thought process behind these images, please let me know. Especially the flight attendant thing. Like, why are there so many images of flight attendants? What does that have to do with God at all, bro? Anyway, it is fucking like 2 a.m. right now. This is Sunday. Well, this is now Monday morning, and I have to work. But I was so distraught over this, and I just needed to record it. And I need to put this out there. Hope you all were at least entertained by this. I hope you weren't too disturbed by it. But good lord, man. Anyway, I am probably going to go back to making video game videos, but I just had to get this out there. Because what is that? What is that? Okay, I'm going to keep going on if I don't just stop myself now. Thank you for watching. Bye. Jesus Christ.